All right. Thank you so much, Janice, for being on this special virtual summit. Damn, I wish somebody would have told me that. It is so good to have you here. Janice is a serial entrepreneur. I am going to turn it over to you because I want to hear, in your own words, a little bit about you, what you do, and why you believe it matters.
I show women entrepreneurs with service-based businesses how to manifest the business, the income, and the life that they want. And I believe it matters because women want to have it all. We can have it all. And I feel like entrepreneurship is really an amazing way to be able to have everything, because that gives us our freedom of time and freedom of what we want to do, and give us the ability to live our passion and purpose. And a lot of women entrepreneurs end up in the burnout and the tired and the frustrated and not having time, which defeats the purpose of why they decide to do what they do. So I know it's possible, and I want to help women really have it all and have the life that they love and the business they love.
I love what you have to say around that, around like the manifesting side of it. Before we hit the record button, you said, just kind of in conversation, you're like, I manifested 3 of the houses that I've lived in. And so that's just such a cool testimony, if you will, as to the power of really utilizing your will, but more importantly, knowing how to do that to change your life. And you definitely help people do that, which is really exciting and fun. And it is really just about being in possibility, which I think is very inspiring. Yeah.
And it's what gets me up in the morning when I have a conversation with a client, and I just know when it's one of those life-changing conversations. And then I talk to them, a week or 2 later, and it's really already made a difference, and they see their life different, or they see their business different, or they've attracted more clients, or whatever it is. It's so rewarding. And I think growing up, at least for me, there was certain boxes that women were in, and certain boxes that people are in because of the way they're raised. And to be able to just break down those boxes and see the possibilities, but not just see them as a dream, step into them, is so exciting, and so exciting to watch other people do.
Agreed. Agreed. It just really, I always say, I'm like, let a good coach to let their hindsight be your foresight. That's a really big deal, because I believe so much in the power of coaching. And it's like, okay, let me leapfrog through all the landmines, all the things that I don't even know what's coming. And because you can work with someone who's already been there, they could be like, hey, you need to go this way, you need to go that way, or have you thought about doing that? So I agree. And so what you're really saying, and the way I'm interpreting it, is it's like, it is possible. So sometimes you just need to have the clear path in front of you. And somebody like you can show you the way, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I remember the moment that I learned about manifesting, and the moment I had the realization that I could go outside of my box, and a life that I never dreamed was possible for me could be possible. And that was when I also knew I needed to share that and educate other women. It was a life-changing moment.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like, oh, it could be this way. Yeah, I don't have to struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, it's almost like I want to tell the whole world. So, okay, so as we're going here, what do you think that, having been an entrepreneur, and I know you're a multi-passionate entrepreneur as well, what is the number one struggle you see for women entrepreneurs, the ones that are kind of stuck to get their business off the ground?
I see some multiple things, and I've struggled with them myself. But I think one of them that's really big is asking for money, asking for as much money as they're worth, and the desire to serve. So they're over serving and burning themselves out from over serving, over delivering. I think those are some critical ones. There's other things, but I really think those are some of the biggest ones because we're nurturers. So we want to nurture our clients and the overserving, and those are the quickest ways to get into overwhelm, burnout, stress, in my
Ugh,
experience.
you said a mouthful. I have been in all those three spaces, not charging my worth, overthinking the charging, or thinking like, okay, well then I have to give more, you know, and I really have to make it worth it. And it's like all the noise that goes on in our heads in order to almost like rationalize that you can help somebody, but you somehow like you have to rationalize your worth. It's the weirdest thing. I personally went through that really bad. And for me, it took for me getting sued for me to realize the error of my ways, that I was overgiving, 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 so much so that it wasn't acknowledged by the person on the receiving end. And as a result, they didn't feel that they got what they wanted. And it was just a mishmash of a bunch of blurred lines and all kinds of misinterpretations. And it's true. It's like you'll get these little hints until you get the 2x4 right across the face.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The universe is relentless. And if you're not getting the message, you're going to get the message at some point with the 2x4 or who knows what. I've been there in a lot of life lessons.
Oh,
I'm a little stubborn, so I wait for the 2x4.
well, clearly, me too. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what it took. All right, I know my place. So,
Yeah.
all
No, I
right.
get it.
Yeah. So we have 3 tips from you. 3. Damn, I wish somebody would have told me that tips. What is your tip number 1 in no particular order?
So my tip number 1 is every single decision you make in business is affected by your relationship with money. And that relationship with money will create blind spots. So you're not making the best decisions, you're not seeing the best opportunities, or your money is going out quicker or as quick as it comes in. Or a healthy relationship with money, you see the opportunities, you don't have those blind spots. It's so much easier to not only bring in your money, but to keep your money. And your business is a lot easier. And it doesn't matter, you may have success at one income level and then hit a glass ceiling, or you stop growing, or money stops coming in or slows down. Every single level that you hit, there's always going to be some type of a limiting belief or a place in your relationship with money that needs some work. And these can be hidden beliefs, blind spots, things that are not easy for you to see within yourself. And I really, really struggled. And there's a lot of aspects around this. This is like, could be a very long topic, and we'll keep it concise for our interview. But it affects your sales. It affects over delivering. It affects everything. It affects where you spend your money in your business, whether you're making smart decisions with where you spend it, whether you're not making as smart decisions. It affects whether you're living into possibilities or where you're living into lack. And it's not just business. If you look at your life, where you live, how you live, what you buy, what you don't buy, it's pretty much every decision in your life is influenced by your relationship with money. But when you're talking about business, it's really an absolute that every decision you make has to do with your relationship with money.
So good. And I don't know, do you, because this is probably a very loaded question, but do you have a quick tip for either acknowledging when you are doing something that's not going to empower you, but disempower you? What kind of quick tip can you give in this realm of how people can catch themselves?
Look at the results you're currently having. Your results you're currently having will tell you so much about so many things. And what I mean by results is money flowing in, are opportunities. Are you recognizing opportunities all the time and they work and the money flows in? It doesn't mean they're easy. It doesn't mean you don't have to take action, but you take the actions, the money flows in, it stays in your bank account. It's not a struggle to keep it. You're not getting all these unexpected expenses or clients wanting refunds or different things. You just have this nice flow. Sometimes you'll have an ebb, but even when you have the ebb, you still have the money in your bank account, things are flowing, money is with ease. And if it's not flowing that way, or you're having a ton of money come in, but again, it's going out, looking at those results can really let you know, hey, I need to investigate this further. I need to check into this relationship with money further. Look at where you're making your decisions from. Are you making them from a place of lack? Are you making them from a place of possibility?
Mm-hmm.
And tune into your body, because
Yeah.
your body will tell you if your body's at ease or if your body is stressed. Those are two indicators too of when you think about money and your own finances. Is there stress in your body?
Absolutely. Great tip. All right. What about tip number 2 of damn, I wish somebody would tell me that.
When I first became an entrepreneur, there was a quote that I think I heard it or read it, and it was that entrepreneurship is a spiritual experience. And I didn't get it until I continued with my entrepreneurial journey. And especially when I started my second business in an area where I knew no one. My first business, when I owned a Pilates studio, actually really was relatively easy to build and be successful. I had learned about manifesting. I was applying all those principles. And even though it was in 2008, which was the worst economic downturn in history, I was able to build that business. But the second business, when I moved out to an area where I knew no one, was really, really difficult. And I was actually got to a point where I was really feeling low about myself. Things I was doing weren't working. Everything I tried wasn't working. I was having a hard time getting the business off the ground. And I actually started to experience some depression and some different things, and was wishing I'd never moved. And just all this stuff culminated. It showed me where I needed to grow. It showed me where I was hiding, where my relationship with money needed work, where I needed to come out of my comfort zone and really get comfortable with sales and asking for money and all these things we've been talking about, having tough conversations, setting boundaries, showing up 100%. And that was where the personal growth came in. It was interpersonal growth. And that's where I understood and began to understand the part about the entrepreneurial relationship being a spiritual journey, because you are learning and growing from the inside. You're changing your thoughts, you're changing your beliefs, you're changing your perspectives, you're changing your actions, you're stepping into a more authentic version of yourself because you're shedding so much and learning so much. And if you're not willing to do that, your business will never grow more than you're growing.
Mhm. I love it.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Oh, I agree with all of that. And I'm feeling that. How about tip number 3, your last one?
Practical business strategies. But it's very precise, practical business strategies that I have learned as far as creating my services, what I charge, and doing it in a way that is very strategic. And really, when I let go of charging time for money, things changed. And as a Pilates instructor from my first business, that's a time for money. It was a time for money
Yeah.
situation. Knowing what I know now, if I was to redo that business, it wouldn't be. But I didn't know that then. And then when I started out coaching, I literally would figure out my pricing based on how many hours I would be coaching and prepping for the session.
Mhm.
And when I learned how to figure out the value of my services differently,
Mhm.
when I learned how to package my services differently, all of a sudden it enabled me to free up more time,
Mhm.
allow more income to come in, and be able to serve my clients at a higher level because I wasn't frustrated, burned out, tired, exhausted, always thinking about business, never present with my family or my friends, or when I was doing things outside of my business. And it was really using these practical business strategies. And I don't even know how many, there's hundreds or thousands of practical business strategies out there, but it was really honing in on some specific ones that worked for my business, which is a service-based business. I work with service-based entrepreneurs, and how those things work together to really create the impact you want to create and still have that life outside of your business and enjoy the things you love doing.
I love that, because and for the viewer who is listening or watching this, it's so important. In every single example that Janice gave, she talked about the actual strategy side of it, because a lot of people get bogged down in tactics, and then so they're running around chasing their tails all the time, spinning. And what you're basically saying, and I agree, I'm like always preaching this, is the importance of understanding the foundational practical business strategies, the way that you're saying. I'm like, focus on strategy. It's like the same thing. It's like if you're building a house, you want the blueprint. So what you're saying is the strategies are the blueprints to the architecture of your business, and that's so important. And people miss it. And they focus on the wrong things.
Yeah, and I missed it for a long time.
Yeah.
But you only have a certain amount of hours in the day.
Yeah.
And when you're trading time for money, you're limiting your income right off the bat. And it's not the way to create the impact you want. I'm guessing that a lot of the people that are going to be watching this summit are going to be living their purpose, wanting to make an impact, wanting to make the world a better place. And you can't do that when you're running around chasing your tail and you're just exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
And so really being strategic with your business strategies, your mindset, and bringing in those manifesting elements. And the three together are such a powerful, powerful combination that just can really propel you and your business to a different level, a higher level.
Yeah. Janice, this was so good. Okay, so let me repeat. So number one, every single decision is affected by your relationship with money. Number two, entrepreneurial, the entrepreneurial journey is a spiritual experience. And number three is practical business strategies and the importance of them. I love it. Awesome tips that are massively valuable. So tell the viewer how people can connect with you and find out how to do all this manifesting stuff that is going to literally turbocharge all these efforts that they're focusing on.
There's a few ways to connect with me. I have a Manifesting for Women Entrepreneurs Facebook group where I go in and do live trainings, and people can ask questions, and building a community there to support each other. And the name of the group is Manifesting for Women Entrepreneurs. So you can search that on Facebook. It'll come up. I'm on Instagram. My name is Janice Berkenheger. And then info@janiceberkenheger.com if you want to ask me any questions or connect with me personally about the summit or any of the things I've talked to you about in the summit.
Thank you, Janice. And all the links of how to get a hold of Janice will be right below this video. So you can just click and go connect with Janice. She's really awesome and very legit in what she does. So thank you so much for being on the summit. I love the tips and appreciate your time in sharing those with the viewers.
And I have a free gift for your viewers.
Oh, okay. The free gift. Yes.
Free gift. I have a guide that I put together at 6 Secrets to Manifest More Money in Your Business. And you can find that at tinyurl.com /JB6secret.
Okay. We're going to include that link so you don't miss it. It'll be right below this video. So that free resource from Janice will be right below. So excellent. Thank you so much, Janice. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Patty. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my stuff here.
Yes, I love it. Thanks again.